When it rains, it pours. For those of you who are listening on the audio, what you can't see that the others can see on the video, and I encourage you to jump over to the YouTube to see the video of this one, is that I am completely bedraggled. I'm dry now, but I was very, very wet earlier today. My wife Sarah and I, we went out walking to one of our favourite parts of the world, the Peak District, and it was a stunning morning. There was no one around, and the reason no one else was around was because they got a very different weather forecast to what we got. We were totally underprepared, and when they say it rains, it pours, they are not wrong. But the reason I want to talk about this today is the fact that when we think about that saying, when it rains, it pours, it immediately brings up a negative connotation, a negative understanding, or a thought that something in our life isn't going right, and things keep going wrong, they go wrong, they go wrong, they go wrong, and they go wrong again. And when it rains, it pours, it's really your choice as to how you choose to take that rain. I believe things happen for us, they don't happen to us. And it's really true because we do have control over how we perceive and receive a situation. Oftentimes when something negative happens, something like the saying, when it rains, it pours, is said to us, and we take that in emotionally and then represent that out physically. Essentially, the world we live in is everything that we have been told by our parents, our teachers, our fathers, our preachers over the years. So someone told us the saying, when it rains, it pours, means that when bad things happen, more and more bad things will happen. But when we were outside in the rain this morning, and when a little bit of rain came in and we were totally underprepared, we were wearing just our showerproof jackets, and then it started to pour. And I mean, you know those thick, heavy raindrops that really pat down on the floor, and you can really feel not just a drop of rain, but like a bowl of rain hit you. It really came down and it started to seep through our clothes, and we stopped and we started to laugh. And what we decided to do was just to take off these rubbish raincoats and embrace the pouring rain. And it was fresh, and the smell of it took me back to when I was a child and when I used to go running through the woods. The nostalgia of the smell of the pine and the woods, and the rain just came straight through and conjured up something magnificent in my mind and in my understanding. And when someone said to me, when it rains, it pours, my thought was, I love being out in the pouring rain. I love it when I get challenged. I love it when life throws us a curveball. Because if we kept doing the same thing day in, day out, life would just be so monotonous and boring. But when a challenge is thrown our way, that rain that starts to come at us, when that rain starts to pour, we have to step back and reflect. Why is that rain pouring? Why are the bad situations coming more and more often? What is it that I am doing that is manifesting that change in my environment? You see, the only thing that made the bad rain bad this morning for us was the fact that we were completely underprepared. But if we went back out into the same situation underprepared, it would be completely our fault. And we would have to have learned from the previous situation to make the next one better. We have fantastic wet weather gear. We should just take it with us every single time. When bad situations come in your life, you can choose to say, this has happened to me, or this has happened for me. I'm going to choose to take this bad situation and make something great of it, or learn from it. Or I'm going to take this bad situation and let it beat me down. And the next time a bad situation comes, I'm going to let it beat me a little bit further. And the next time something comes, it beats me a little bit further. So that when it starts to pour down, there is nothing that I can do but retreat inside my little house, and nothing will ever change. But if you say, you know what, that little drop of rain, that's a sign. That's a sign that things aren't going quite right, or I'm not making the right choices. And I'm going to listen to it. And I'm going to choose to do something different about it. So that when it starts to pour, I can put my hood up and I can dance in the rain. You always have a choice in your life. If we break it down for a minute and think about the physiology of the human body, we think about the emotional response of a human body. It is a learnt behavior. We have learnt to respond in a negative way, an anxious way, or a fearful way, or a forceful way to something because we've been told that we should. Long-term emotions are learnt behaviors. Short-term emotions, however, are innate, reflex, and something we can do nothing about. And that window lasts about 45 seconds. You have 45 seconds to be angry or bitter, frustrated or scared about something before you then have the control to change it. If you put your hand on a hot stove, you are going to react and lift your hand straight off that super quick. That is an innate reflex reaction. If someone scares you, your physiology is going to prime up and you're going to be ready to respond and ready to fight. That is an innate reaction. Until you stop and rationalize the situation, you then have the ability to choose how you see it. You have the potential. You have the power. Don't let somebody else's opinion of you become your reality. Don't let somebody else's view of the world become your reality. When it rains, start to dance. When it pours, start to laugh. Think about the situation, rationalize that situation, and learn from that situation. So that as you move forward with your life, you are doing it on your terms and nobody else's.